90 minutes are very long in the Spotify Camp Nou. I don't care if I sound shameless. I don't care if I sound shameless for laughing at this tweet because my club is in the mud right now. Real Madrid are playing shit. We lost yesterday. Rodrigo is out for 10 months. So I needed just anything to boost my dopamine today, anything to make me happy. And today, the game Barca had against Atletico and Madrid did that job. And look, like I said, it's going to sound shameless coming from me because Barcelona, they won 3-0. Obviously, they lost 4-3 on aggregate, but they had a very good performance today. But it wasn't enough because to overcome a 4-0 deficit, you have to put out the best performance of your life. And they got very close to that today. I'm going to be so honest. And I was shitting myself. In that second half especially, after Bernal scored the third goal, I was scared because I've seen this script before. I've seen Barca come back against PSG in 2017. I've seen Atleti throw away leads in knockout stages before, like against Juventus in 2019. So I was scared. And if there was any team to get bent over after winning 4-0, it would be Atleti. But luckily for us, it didn't happen. It did not happen. But in all seriousness, if you're a Barca fan, you should honestly be proud of your team because the performance today was near perfect. It was near perfect. It was almost enough to go through. And I honestly think if that game goes on for 20 minutes longer, Barca find a way to get a fourth goal because they were knocking on that door basically the whole game. But yeah, let's talk about the game really quickly. It just went how we all expected, really. Atleti obviously sitting deep, very compact, haram ball, some might say, just sitting in the box, letting Barca have possession, and Barca creating chances when they could. And obviously, the first goal comes courtesy of Marc Bernal. Lamine off a corner, I think, gets it played short, beats his man, easy pass in, Bernal there to tap it in. And at that point, I was like, okay, you know what? Atleti, they might have slipped up a bit, but I don't know if it's going to happen yet. Then, in the 45th minute, Pedri goes down with a very soft pen, in my opinion. But yes, it's still a pen. I saw better angles of it. It was a pen. Pedri goes down. Raphinha steps up, which kind of surprised me because it was not Lamine Yamal. Raphinha steps up. Very, very well taken pen. And I think I saw a stat. He hasn't missed a pen in his whole club career ever, or at least in Europe. So very impressive from Raphinha. Takes a very good pen. And at that point, 2-0 at halftime. There I was scared. There I was thinking, okay, Atleti, you've just thrown it away. Because like I said, I've seen this before. And if you remember, Barca against PSG in 2017, if I'm not mistaken, the scoreline at halftime was 2-0 as well. So I was saying, okay, I've seen this shit before. I've seen it before. And then the second half starts. And once again, Barca creating chances. Lamine Yamal with this one play where he skins, I think, Ruggeri. And then he sends a ball in, a cut back to Bernal. Bernal almost scores, and Musa with a great hand on it. And yeah, that was basically what happened the whole of the second half. Barca creating chances. Atleti basically clearing it out in the box, or Musa getting a hand to it. And then, in the 72nd minute, João Cancelo with a peach of a pass to Marc Bernal, who gets his second goal of the game. And to be honest, guys, Marc Bernal, this guy's a great defensive midfielder. He does his job very well. He recovers possession well. He's great in possession. But something that I've noticed with him is that he just has this knack of scoring goals. I think he has like 4 goals now for Barca, maybe 5. It's like he's a defensive midfielder. He shouldn't be moving like this. But in the box, he has that goal-scoring instinct, which is going to be very useful in the future, obviously. And today, he came up with 2/3 of Barca's goals. Great performance from Bernal, both scoring goals, in possession, recovering possession. Great performance from Bernal. And yeah, after he scored, I was 100% convinced Barca were coming back. My heart was beating so fast. I was like, holy shit. I've just had the worst week ever. Madrid lost yesterday. Rodrigo's out for 10 months. And Barca are about to have a 4-0 comeback. I would... But, like I said, it didn't happen. And they got close. And what I noticed, especially in the last 15 to 20 minutes, were that, yes, Barca created some chances, but I noticed more than anything was that they were going down a lot in the box. And it's kind of ironic to me because a lot of times I see Barca fans complaining about Real Madrid players going down in the box way too easily. Which, look, it's true. A lot of times I'm embarrassed to see Mbappe, Vini, Rodrigo even sometimes go down in the box way too easily. I think it's shameless looking for a pen like that. But today, we saw it from Barca players. We saw it from Lamine Yamal. We saw it from Raphinha. I think we saw it from Ferran Torres. These guys were just diving in the box every 5 minutes. Lamine Yamal especially. And what I want to say to Barca fans is, are you going to criticize that? Because you guys always criticize our players for diving, so keep the same energy with your players, especially in a situation like this where you need a goal and you're resorting to diving. I'm not going to say like you guys are in the wrong, but I'm just going to say if you guys are going to criticize us, you have to be self-critical as well. So yeah, that's just my little spiel on that. I think that what I saw today from Barcelona was very impressive overall. Just the way they were playing in the last 10 minutes as well. They had no energy. And there were so many times where it was Sorloth or who else was in at that time? It was Sorloth, Baena. They had some breakaways, but they just got stopped. They couldn't string together passes. Barcelona players were cutting up the play. And I want to highlight Kubarsi today, who I've been very critical of. And I think a lot of just football fans in general have been very critical of him because this season, let's not lie, he has not been at his best. But today, he was very, very good. He was amazing today. One of Barca's best players, in my opinion. He would recover possession. Obviously, Guarci is always going to give you that great performance when it comes to playing out the back. Guarci today was a leader in that back line. And I thought he had a very good performance. And like I said, there was a lot of times where he would just cut up the play when it was a breakaway, open space between Sorloth or Baena, or even in the first half with Julian Alvarez. I thought Barca's back line, just their whole back line in general, was very solid today. I thought Cancelo today, that pass that he put in to Bernal for the third goal, and just what the crosses he was putting in throughout the whole game, very dangerous. And honestly, we saw that Balde and Koundé both got injured. So I think if there's one winner out of that situation, it's going to be Joao Cancelo, because he was great against Levante. I thought he was great today. So I think he's going to take this chance and he's going to have to run with it. Maybe he gets signed in the summer permanently. I'm not sure how that's going to work. But if there's a chance to take, it's this one. Joao Cancelo has to basically just lock in for the next 3-4 months of the season. He's going to want to be that guy who's playing in the semifinals of the Champions League, potentially even a final. I think there's going to be like 3 or 4 huge months for Cancelo. I think, let's talk about Lamine Yamal, because this guy's obviously the most polarizing player on this team by a mile. I thought he was very good today. The first half, had the assist for Bernal. How many dribbles did he complete? Let me see that. He completed a lot of dribbles today. Where is it? Duels. Ground duels won 14 out of 24. I'm assuming like 10 of those were dribbles. I might be blind right now. I genuinely might be blind. I can't see it. Anyway. Wait, hold up. Touches. Okay, 14 dribbles. Jesus Christ. He completed 14 dribbles today. He had Ruggeri on strings, bro. Lamine Yamal today was very good, obviously beating his man. I thought he was missing a bit of quality when it came to end product sometimes. His shot wasn't there. Sometimes his cutbacks, his crosses weren't that accurate. But overall, Lamine Yamal was still one of Barcelona's best players. And I think that this is the first game, or the first big game, where Lamine Yamal has stepped up really this whole season, to be honest. This season in big games, he hasn't been the best. But today, I thought he was one of Barca's best players. My bad. And then I also thought Raphinha was good today. Obviously, the penny he took was very well taken. I thought what you're going to get with Raphinha is the same thing every time. A bunch of work rate. Maybe he was missing a bit of quality in the final third like Lamine Yamal, but this guy ran all over the pitch. I don't know if I can say how many kilometers he ran, but this guy, I saw him running a lot. That's all I'm going to say. And yeah, so that was the game. Obviously, Atleti go through to the Copa del Rey final. Very, very close. And these guys were shit today. There's no... They were shit today. Atleti were shit today. They're so lucky they won, but I'm very happy they won. I'm very happy. Just they couldn't fumble this, because this is the only trophy they're competing for. They're not competing for La Liga. They're not competing for the UCL. They had to win this. And I think Griezmann's going to leave in the summer, so for them, it's going to be a nice sending off, a nice farewell for Griezmann. They're going to give him a trophy probably in the Copa del Rey. And yeah, Atleti go on to the Copa del Rey final. Barcelona now are focusing on La Liga and the Champions League. And I personally think that they can only win the La Liga, because in the UCL, they're not going to win. They're not going to beat Arsenal. They're not going to beat maybe Bayern, maybe PSG, maybe City if they reach the final. Barca are really only competing for La Liga at this point in time. And I will say that there's going to be a lot of injury reports coming out very soon. Obviously, Koundé, Balde. I think Pedri as well might have a setback, because this guy completed 90 minutes for the first time in a very long time. You could tell at the end of the game, he was drained. So I think he might be out for a couple of weeks maybe. So I think Barcelona might only be competing for La Liga, which still, I don't want them to win that, but I'm just happy they're not gonna walk away with any more silverware this year. So yeah, those are my thoughts on the game. Again, very happy because the start to the week has not been good. Yesterday was not good, but today made me a bit happier. Barcelona lost in aggregate. And yeah, let me know your thoughts on the game in the comments. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for future videos coming out very soon. I'll see you guys later.